Hi, everybody. This is Stacy Suniga with the Sham Unveiled again. I wanted to just do a really quick segment because we have some celebration to do today. The Supreme Court ruled against Donald Trump on the freezing or the repealing of USA aid funds going out to other countries in the world. Many nonprofit groups and medical groups had sued Donald Trump's administration for withholding that money. That money is important to go out for medical research, to hold down disease, to keep disease at bay. Once it is discovered, we know diseases can appear on a plane and get anywhere in all corners of the world. This was a big win because a lower federal court judge had put a restraining order on their repealing of funds and just kind of held things to kind of hear the case and had made a decision that Trump was not in the authority to withhold those funds and that he needed to immediately start releasing those funds. He had a deadline until February 13th to let him know how that was going to happen, what Trump was going to do to start opening that pipeline, the flow of money back to those countries, as was conscribed by the Congress. So Trump has been usurping Congress's power. Unfortunately, Republican Congress people have been letting him do their jobs, letting them make decisions and breaking the Constitution, which is a violation of their own oaths, and not saying anything as Trump has been doing these really ridiculous and heinous orders coming from his desk. So Trump thought, well, these are my buddies on the Supreme Court. I got three that I got on there. They're going to rule in my favor. Let's run to the bigger gang to kind of back us up. And so he used his presidential power to push the issue to get an important hearing. John Roberts stayed the ruling from the lower court, but he did it so that opposing counsel can respectfully present their case, present their issue. And so today, it just happened a few days later. We never know when the U.S. Supreme Court is going to have a ruling, but today they in fact said, no, Donald Trump, we're not going to side with you because you think we owe you. You're going to pay this money. We're not staying the order from the lower federal judge. You're going to start the flow of money, just like he said. And the one caveat that's kind of hidden in that ruling is they did hint to Judge Ali, who was the judge that offered the federal judge that offered that first ruling. I said, hey, in reasonable time, give this administration the chance to get that started. So reasonable time means, I believe, from what I heard from some of the pundits, it's not doesn't mean, hey, tomorrow you start pulling this money out. I don't see why that can't happen. It took that quick for them to bring it back. But reasonable time is kind of a key part of the ruling so that it doesn't go back, or else they hint that they may have a different ruling. So I'm sure federal judge Ali got the hint, will follow suit. But on that note, we need to thank just Chief Justice John Roberts and Justice Amy Coney Barrett for sticking with the Constitution and sticking it to Trump, because Trump thinks he can usurp power from anywhere. And so he did get a little bit of crybaby support from the other justices who went against this ruling in their dissent. With Samuel Alito, who wrote the dissent, and he said he was just shocked that these justices that are supposed to be on their side, I guess, would conscribe a waiver of sovereign immunity, that there's sovereign immunity in the executive branch, that they didn't really even look at precedences. Well, I don't know if this has happened before. Have we had a president be such an asshole to think that he's the end all be all, make all the decisions? I don't know. But anyway, they were really kind of, just stuck in their craw. They felt like they were betrayed. And who cares? You guys, you just want to do whatever Trump wants you to do. So you are out of order because we have a constitution. And what the majority did was follow that constitution and tell Trump, we have three pillars of power. You are but one, you're not all three. And because we have a prescribed method of giving law, of giving funding, of giving rule, we're going to go to the Constitution. We're going to vote in favor of the Constitution and the people. And this money was already designated by Congress. So you have nothing to do with it. You need to start getting that out there. Also, in Alito's little crying fest, put down federal Judge Ali saying, who is this guy? This guy's a lower court, saying we're the Supreme Court. This guy, you guys voted in favor of him. Who is he? He's a bug under my foot. Well, that guy, Alito, has more common sense, more compassion, and more understanding of the rule of law than you ever will. You and the other three combined. That Trump likes to believe, and he's not wrong. You guys will let him do whatever he wants. So kudos to Coney Barrett and to John Roberts for being brave, standing up for the Constitution. And I know especially Amy Coney Barrett's getting a lot of shit from Republican MAGA today, but we need to thank her publicly, thank her, I don't know, get it out there. If you want to find a way to email her or something, give her some kudos for standing, for having more balls than the men, than the conservative men. Well, for the most part, she stood up for what was right. And the other men don't seem to have the ability to do that. So really good news coming out today. And I just wanted to talk about it a little bit. I'm so excited. Thank you. And let's start celebrating. I know we had a real downer last night with that huge lie of a statement, whatever Trump was doing, just loves to have himself talk. I didn't watch it, but I kind of followed up on news about it today, and I heard it was very frustrating. And of course, it was just nothing more than a Trump rally speech, right? So thank goodness we have some good news today after all of that. And stay tuned. I have some guests coming on here pretty soon to talk about what's going on at the federal level with all of this wild, crazy zoo that Trump is designing inside of his administration, but also keeping you apprised on local. There's some news coming out about Gabe Evans today, and I will have a guest to talk with me about that. So look for that one coming up. Thank you, everybody. Go celebrate. Have a beer. Bye-bye.